Guys, please come to online again. Sorry for disturbance and sorry for inconvenience. So again, there is a small internet problem. Yeah, you can, yeah, Praveen, join again. So there is a small problem. There is a small problem in internet. Yeah, guys, come fast. Everyone, please be online again. You can join live again. So because due to internet connection, video was switched off. Yeah, come again, come again. Manideep, yeah, Praval. Yes, ma'am, please. Sorry for inconvenience. So this is your question where you have to answer this today. Yeah, so the question arised by a student where we can do lacing. Even a lacing can be connected to the column with the help of a welding, isn't it? Yes, we can connect. See, this is how the lacing was connected to the main member with the help of a bolt. So if you want to connect with the welding, you have to do welding on its circumference like this. So this is the place where they do welding. Okay, this is the place where they do welding, right? So what kind of welding it is? Can anyone? What type of welding you can do here? So this is called fillet weld. Why? Because this plate and this column flange and plate was overlapped each other. So whatever the welding you do, that welding comes under the fillet weld, isn't it? Right. So bolt means how to calculate the number of bolts. You can calculate the number of bolts based on the load acting on each bolt. Load acting on each bolt by strength of one bolt in terms of shear will give number of bolts, isn't it? The same way, how to calculate the length of welding. So let us take this lacing bar. If you have to do welding like this, where the lacing is supposed to be welded, kada? So what is this? This is called length of lacing, length of welding. ఈ టోటల్ ఏమంటాం మనం? లెంత్ ఆఫ్ వెల్డింగ్ అంటాం, right? Understood? Yeah. So now what is the formula you have to calculate the length of welding or the strength of fillet weld under shear? VDW is equal to AW into FUW by root 3 into gamma MW. So this is the formula which I have to calculate the design strength of the fillet weld. So VDW is equal to LW into TW into FUW by root 3 into gamma MW, right? Finally, what you have to achieve? You have to achieve VDW should always be greater than or equal to shear force. అవునా? ఎవరమ్మా క్వశ్చన్ అడిగింది? సో ప్లీజ్ ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్ హియర్. The finally your conclusion is your design strength of the fillet weld should always be greater than or equal to applied shear force, isn't it? So you can consider even equal also. Equal also, your fillet weld is safe. Okay, how you get V value? V value is nothing but what? VDW is equal to V is equal to VT. Avuna? How you get the shear force? Shear force is nothing but the transverse shear force which is acting on the fillet weld. VT is nothing but transverse shear force which is acting on the fillet weld. VT, how do you calculate? 2.5% of axial force. So that is how you are going to calculate the VT, isn't it? Right? ఇప్పుడు నేను వీటిని VT గా తీసుకుంటాను. LW which is unknown into TW. How to calculate TW? TW is equal to K into S. What is K? K stands for fusion coefficient, which you get from table number 22. What is S? Size of weld. Based on the thickness of the thicker part, you are going to get your S value from table number 21. Okay, so that is how you can calculate TW, which is K into S into FUW. ఎలా వస్తుందమ్మా? FUW is the ultimate tensile strength of the weld. Ultimate tensile strength of the weld is FUW. I think it was bit blur. Okay, yeah. By root 3 into partial safety factor. Okay, ఇప్పుడు దీంట్లో unknown ఏది? LW is unknown. You know VT. VT is 2.5% of axial force. You know K, fusion coefficient. You know S, size of the fillet well. FUW is the ultimate tensile strength of the fillet well. Root 3. Gamma MW is partial safety factor. From this you can calculate a LW. LW is the minimum length of the weld required to connect your lacing with the welding. This is how you can calculate the length of the fillet weld for connecting your laced bar to the column. Understood? So అంటే మన bolt తో కాదు, welding తో కూడా మనం కనెక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. In bolting, how you are calculating the number of bolts, in the same way in welding you are going to calculate the length of the weld అన్నమాట. Okay, from fillet design of fillet weld in terms of shear. ఈ ఫార్ములాతో మనం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం. క్లియర్? ఎవరు డౌట్ అడిగారు? సారీ గైస్, ఐ ఫర్గాట్ యువర్ నేమ్. సో బట్ హౌఎవర్ a person, I mean those who ask this question, like how to design the welded lacing which is going to be connected to the main column member. Okay, so in that way you are going to connect your lacing in terms of a fillet weld to the main column member, right? Right, so this is the concept where we can use and we can get the length of the fillet weld, right, based on the load acting on the welding. So what load? So which will be the shear force based on the axial force which is acting on the column. That will be 2.5% of the axial force, which is based on the code. Charan, yeah, I think, yeah, Charan, you asked the question, right? Yes. So you understood now? Okay, very good. So now let answer this question. Please guys, try to answer this question, which is asked in 1995 GATE. The maximum allowable compressive stress corresponding to lateral buckling in a discretely laterally supported symmetrical I-beam, which is using as a column, does not depend on, out of these four, where your column is not depending on which parameter? Is it not depending on Young's modulus? Is it not depending on radius of gyration? Is it not depending on span to length of the beam? Is it not depending on the ratio of overall depth to thickness of the flange? Which is the right answer? Please try to answer this question. By that we can wind up today's session. Come on guys, please answer this question. Your column, laterally supported symmetrical column, which is not depending upon which parameter? On which parameter your column is not supposed to depend to its maximum allowable stress towards the lateral buckling? Which one? Kavita, come on. Praveen, hi sir. Hi Hariprasad sir, how are you? So sir is also watching. Sir, how are you sir? Charan, answer this. I think C. Okay, what about others? Come on guys. I want everyone please involve and answer this question. Rajita ma'am, can you answer C from the Praveen? Okay. Madhu Yadav, answer this. Please guys, only half minute left. So by that we can have an explanation on this question. So I am not asking which is the depend upon. I am, see, it is clear. It is which is not depend on, not does not depend upon. So your lateral supported column which is not going to depend upon any one parameter out of this, which is that I am asking. The span or length of the column. Okay. Rest of others. Ma'am is also telling C. Kavita is also telling C. Okay. Okay. So let me answer this. So answer is A. Why A? Listen. See, let me go through other options. Then you can tell why the answer is A. See the second one. Your lateral supported column is always depends on the radius of gyration. Why? So your radius of gyration is root of I by A. So where your moment of inertia is depending upon the radius of gyration. Radius of gyration is going to lead and affect the slenderness ratio of the column, isn't it? So by that, your laterally supported column is depends on the radius of gyration, right? So this is the depending parameter. Yeah. Next, span or length of the column. See, in the slenderness ratio formula itself, you have the length. See, the length of the column or the effective length of the column is always depends or is always directed to its radius of gyration. Sorry, it directed to its slenderness ratio. The lateral buckling of the column is always depends on the length. See, when the column is short in length, column will subjected to crush. When there is a long column tends to buckle, right? By that, the length of the column is always depends on its lateral buckling, isn't it? By that, answer is not C. So the length or span of the beam is always depends on lateral buckling. Okay. So by that, your laterally supported column will depend on span or length of the beam. Beam ante column anamata ikkada ante. Okay. It depends. So by that, answer is not C. It depends. And coming to the last one, the ratio of overall depth to thickness of the flange. What is the overall depth to thickness of the flange? Overall depth of the section is this. Overall depth is D and the thickness of the flange is TF. Avuna? So let's see your code. IS 800 2007 chudandi okkasari. In the code it was clearly mentioned all your buckling classes are depends on, see, code. Let us take hot rolled I section. Hot rolled I section limits enti chudandi. H by BF. Depth to width of the flange. Thickness, width to thickness of the flange, depth to thickness of the web. So your buckling class of your column is always depends on depth and thickness. Okay, it also depends on depth to thickness of the flange and width of the flanges. So deniki depend avvatledu. Out of these four parameters, nowhere your column lateral buckling is depending upon E. Ekkada column Young's modulus మీద depend అవ్వలేదు. See, I am not talking about just strength amma. I am talking about compressive stress corresponding to lateral buckling. Lateral buckling ni lead చేస్తున్న parameters దీంట్లో ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా? Yes. Lateral buckling is going to affect due to radius of gyration. Lateral buckling is going to leads with the length of the column. Lateral buckling is going to leads with the overall depth to thickness of the column. So lateral buckling is nowhere related with the Young's modulus. Okay. So that is how your question was made, and the answer is your lateral buckling of your column relates to its compression strength, never depends upon modulus of elasticity. Got it? So this is the answer. It is all based on IS 800 2007. Okay, clear? So I think you got a right answer. Might be maybe like those who answered question, I mean, so those who answered this question, so might be they may answered C by having this clue. ఏంటి మీ అందరికి యూలర్స్ ఫార్ములా తెలుసు. వాట్ ఇస్ ద యూలర్స్ ఫార్ములా? యూలర్ లోడ్ is equal to pi square ei by l square. ఈ ఫార్ములా ఉంది కదా, అందరికి తెలుసా? Right. So here Euler buckling load is independent of yield strength of the steel. Avuna? Here you all know the Euler loads, right? So here Euler buckling load is independent of yield strength of the steel. So by that maybe you may answer C, Euler buckling load is directly relating with the Young's modulus. Maybe దీని బట్టి మీరు ఆన్సర్ C A అని, I mean C అని చెప్పుండొచ్చు. మేబీ సి అని మీరు ఆన్సర్ చెప్పుండొచ్చు. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ మీద డిపెండ్ అవ్వదు అనేది పాయింట్ కాదు. సో ఇక్కడ హియర్ యూ గాట్ ద యూలర్స్ బక్లింగ్ లోడ్ విచ్ ఇస్ పై స్క్వేర్ ఇయర్ బై ఎల్ స్క్వేర్ విచ్ ఇస్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు ఎఫెక్ట్ ద lateral buckling of the column. Okay, here lateral buckling of the column is due to the allowable compression stress only, right? So directly it may not relates to the Young's modulus, but as per the options concerned, they may depend upon these parameters first. Then later on, Euler's buckling load alone may depend upon the Young's modulus also. Here E stands for Young's modulus, isn't it? Maybe option E kuda okkokasari depend ayye chance undi based on this formula. Okay, right? So based on this formula, load may also depends upon the Young's modulus. So but as per this question concern, ఎక్కువ priority వీటి మీదే ఉంటుందన్నమాట. ది Young's modulus మీద ఎక్కువ డిపెండ్ అవ్వదు lateral buckling. Okay, so in that way, so your answer is A, which is not depending upon lateral buckling of the particular column. Clear? Everyone? Right, then we are going to discuss splicing tomorrow, which is a column splice. So how to design the column splicing. So here the picture is, I mean the model. See, this is how we are going to design the column splicing. So there are three conditions in a column splicing summa. So when the column is having an equal cross sections like this. See here, this is one part of the column and this is the other part of the column. So these two are spliced each other and jointed with the help of web splice and a flange splice. The splice plate which is used on the flange is called a flange splice plate, and the splice plate which is used to connect the web portion is called a web splice plate. So this is the one condition where the cross sections are equal. So there is another condition where the cross sections are unequal. At that point we are going to use a bearing plate to connect two unequal cross sections of the column. So ilaga you are having three different conditions: when the sections are equal cross section, when the sections are slightly varying in its cross section, and third condition is almost different. I mean chala ekku difference untundi. Maybe this cross section is big and the next column cross section is very small. So then what is the condition? So like that we are going to discuss three column splices tomorrow with the clear pictures, and we will try to discuss the design steps of the column splicings also. So by that we can start column splicing tomorrow, and we can discuss about the design conditions based on the IS 800/2007. Okay, so tomorrow let me finish column splicing, and then we can start from Monday, which is on column bases. Okay, slab base and gusset base meda we will have a discussion. Okay, so because I want to spend more time on beams and plate girders. Why? Because many colleges started I mean many colleges are supposed to finish their syllabus from beams ప్లేట్ గర్డర్స్, రూఫ్ ట్రస్సెస్ అండ్ ప్లాస్టిక్ అనాలిసిస్. ఇవే చాలా మన కాలేజెస్లో కవర్ చేయలేని టాపిక్స్ ఐ థింక్. సో బికాజ్ end of I mean in the mid of March 15th, I think almost all colleges have completed 3 modules. These 2 modules are supposed to be completed. So I think we can focus mainly on that and try to finish that by the end of this month. Okay guys? Okay, so so let me see you tomorrow then. Then thank you so much for today's session, for spending your time. Anything you want to ask me, you can. Guys, fine, shall we move today then? Thank you, Praveen. So Praveen is the one who responds first. What about others? So shall we move for today? So I think we had a very good session today. I will try to share these notes to you guys after completion of this presentation. Okay, thank you, Praval, thank you so much. Then yeah guys, see you tomorrow then. Okay, bye.